Hey everybody. Hello. All right, we're live on Facebook and on Periscope. We are I'm keeping my word with you. Here it is. We are at chapter 18 of the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I am Carmela. And I'm telling you, it's pretty cool that we get to spend this time together right here during the holidays where you have some time to rest and reflect on your year. If you have not started reflecting on your year, I encourage you to go ahead and do so. There's some specific things that you can do. If you need help with that, just inbox me and let me know, and I'll send you over a couple of tools that I use with my coaching clients and that we use in Cookies and Dreams that I think will really help you. It even involves color coding, right? So you want to make sure that you're intentional about what you do in the new year. And in order to do that and see what works, you have to take a good look and be honest with yourself about what you did this year. What worked, what didn't work, what needs tweaking, what needs celebrating, what things did you accomplish this year? So many times we accomplish significant things in our life and we go right over it. We don't even pause and celebrate ourselves. Listen, you have permission. I'm giving you permission to celebrate you, even if it just means getting you a 99-cent ice cream cone. Whatever you got to do, it's okay to celebrate you. Let's jump right into this law because I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I want the time that we do have to be a time with some content, with some meat. Remember to get your notes, get your pen and a piece of paper, because as good as you think your memory is, you'll forget. So actually, what I encourage you to do is don't try to write down verbatim what I say, but write down the inspirational thoughts that come from the tips that I'm going to share with you about this law. And law number 18 is the law of sacrifice. It says that a leader must give up to go up. A leader must give up to go up. Listen, your legacy statement, which was lesson number 1 and law number 21, your legacy statement is almost like your dream, what it is that you want to do, what it is you want people to remember you by. Listen, it's free to dream. It does not cost you anything to dream. It does not cost you anything to begin to paint the picture of what you want your life to look like, but it will cost you to implement it. It will cost you every time. So let's jump right into this, the law of sacrifice. I want you to take, before I even give you these 3 or 4 little tips, I want you to get a sheet of paper, and on the left side of your paper, I want you to write down the things that you're willing to sacrifice. And on the right side of your paper, I want you to write down the things that you are not willing to sacrifice. These things are not negotiable. And it's so important before you accept another promotion, before you write down your next goal, before you do your New Year's resolution, it is vitally important that you write down what you're willing to sacrifice and what you're not willing to sacrifice. And it's perfect that we're right here in the holiday season. And one of your list must include your health, your marriage, your relationship with your children, your finances. I mean, key things. List these things, because sometimes we desire to be promoted up in an organization and we sacrifice things that should be on our non-negotiable list. Because if you're out working and you're working hard to build a family, you're working hard to be able to provide for your family, but you lose your family in the middle of your, it doesn't make sense. It's a waste of time. It's not productive. So you have to choose what's going to be on your sacrifice list and what's going to be on your non-sacrifice list. For me, some of the things I'm willing to sacrifice is my time. I'm willing to sacrifice some sleep. Because when I'm taking care of my clients, I'm taking care of them during business hours and doing hours that works for them. That means that there are certain things as an entrepreneur that have to be done for my business that I may not be able to do until late at night or early morning. So I have to sacrifice a little bit of my sleep in order for my business to be successful. I'm willing to do that. But I'm not willing to sacrifice my marriage. I'm not willing to sacrifice my children. I'm not willing to sacrifice my health anymore. Because see, once you become aware of something, then you have to take authority over it. You're now accountable for that which you're aware of. And a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we don't eat right, we don't sleep right, we don't exercise, we're just going. And although we one of the benefits of being an entrepreneur is being in charge of your own schedule. And then what happens? We start our businesses, and then we allow other people to take charge of our calendar, and it costs us our health. So you have to make a decision early on what things you're willing to sacrifice and what things you're not willing to sacrifice. And I hope that you make the right decisions. And the things that you're not willing to sacrifice, you got to keep that in mind when you are preparing for promotion and preparing to move up. I just had a close friend of mine who was looking for a job and was offered a job on the West Coast. She's not willing to do that. She's not willing to move from the East Coast to the West Coast. There are certain things that she's involved in here on this side that are non-negotiable. And if you are chasing a dollar, you will sacrifice things that are important to you, and it won't be worth it in the end. It will not be fulfilling. So here we go. Number one, the law of sacrifice. A leader must give up to go up. There is no success without sacrifice. There is no success without sacrifice. I know that seems very foundational, fundamental, and it is. There is no success without sacrifice. There's three parts to success. There's the dream, there's the struggle, and there's success. There's the dream, there's struggle, and there's success. What separates ordinary people from extraordinary people is right here in the struggle. In the struggle, when things get hard, people typically go back to what is common, what is comfortable, and what they are used to. But if you are willing to sacrifice here in this second phase, when struggle comes, when hardship comes, if you are clear on who you are and where you're going and what it is you want to do and what you're willing to sacrifice and what you're not willing to sacrifice, if you will persevere in this season, success is assured. I want you to think about any successful person that you know. I mean, you can name them. They're on your TV. Some of them are no longer with us. Just think of any of them. I'm not intimidating anybody. And whoever it is, if you look at their life, you will see that they had a dream, that they had struggle, and then through the struggle came sacrifice. And some of them had a dream, had a struggle, and bombed. They failed. And some of them failed a few times. But the difference was they did not give up. You got to be willing to sacrifice. Number two, leaders are often asked to give up more than others. Leaders are often asked to give up more than others. The more responsibility you have, the more limitations you have. If you are leading, if you are the face of the organization, if you are the brand of that organization, your sacrifice goes far beyond what people see on that job. Your sacrifice is who you are. You have to sacrifice what you say on your social media pages. If you are a new entrepreneur and you're building your brand, be careful about being too political on your pages. You just have to be careful because you have to sacrifice certain things. That's why it's so important that you have a strong inner circle network that will be honest with you, that will give you feedback, and that you would have a safe place to vent, that you will have a place to release and a place to be refilled. And in the public, that is not the place. You have to sacrifice some things. And the third thing, you must keep giving up to stay up. See, this is not a one-time payment. This is not you do something big one time and then you're promoted and then now I've made it and I arrived. No, this is an ongoing payment. As a leader, the more you move up, the more responsibilities you have, the more is required of you. So this is an ongoing payment. You don't just make one payment of sacrifice and then you've arrived. And one of the mindsets that's most dangerous for a leader and for an entrepreneur is the destination disease. John Maxwell calls it the destination disease, meaning I've arrived. And when you get to a point that you think that you've arrived and you don't need to grow anymore, you don't need to learn anymore, nobody can teach you anything, that is a dangerous place to be in. As a leader, in order to continue to go up, you got to continue to give up. We make sacrifices, but you make healthy sacrifices. That's why in the very beginning, I told you to make your list, because there are certain things that should not be negotiable in your life. And so you make those sacrifices that's necessary for you to go up and for you to stay up, but do it without compromising your integrity. For everything you've missed, you've gained something. And for everything you gain, you miss something. And you have to be willing to be very honest with yourself. What is it you're willing to miss? And what is it you're not willing to miss? So if you are an entrepreneur, and one of the reasons that you became an entrepreneur was so that you could be in charge of your own schedule, it is the holidays. Christmas is quickly approaching. Your family needs you. Do not sacrifice the very things, the very people that you work so hard for, to provide for. So I hope you're encouraged on today. Law number 18 is the law of sacrifice. And it says a leader must give up to go up. And the heart of good leadership, the very foundation of good leadership, is sacrifice. And as that leader, you're willing to sacrifice for the family. You're willing to sacrifice for the organization. And you're willing to sacrifice. So visit us online at CarmelaWilliams.com. Remember, we are launching Pathway to Success in January 2017, and we're kicking it off with 4 complimentary classes. And we'll be teaching from some of these amazing laws with 3 of my partners in the John Maxwell team. Miss Sarah from Boston, Lonnie from here in Vidalia, and my husband, who is my business partner and the love of my life. He'll be joining us as well on our Pathway to Success faculty. All of us are part of the John Maxwell team, and we have one goal, and that's to see you be successful. Also on my website, you'll find information on the Inner Circle Network. The Inner Circle Network is awesome. We have educators in there. We have people that are starting all kind of programs in their region, in their community. We have authors in there, ministries in there, and we're sharing resources. We're sharing ideas. Group coaching goes on. One-on-one coaching goes on. There's an online university with tons and tons of videos. There's 12 curriculums with worksheets. Everything is there for you. If you're ready to do something different in 2017, and part of your New Year's resolution is personal growth and development, even if you're a pastor, if you're a leader, if you're preparing for promotion on your job, you have to sacrifice and invest in yourself. Sacrifice some of your time so that you can grow from the inside out. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.